And now, Mr. Serling.
Next week, we show you the face of war, but the kind of portrait we venture to say you've never seen before. Dick York and William Reynolds star in The Purple Testament, the story of a man who can forecast death. That's next week on The Twilight Zone, The Purple Testament. We hope you'll join us. Thank you and good night.
And now, Mr. Serling.
Next week on The Twilight Zone, we offer you the unbelievable along with an explanation. 3 men visit a strange new world with people, cars, houses, the works. But something's wrong in the scene, something very abnormal amidst the normal. You'll see what I mean when next week we bring you Elegy by Charles Beaumont. It stars Cecil Kellaway. Thank you and good night.
And now, Mr. Serling.
Next week, I try to settle an argument to the effect that I'm not at my best when writing scripts for women. Miss Vera Miles takes my side in a most unusual and unique story we call Mirror Image. I hope to see you next week, you in your living room, and Miss Vera Miles and the rest of us in The Twilight Zone.
And now, Mr. Serling.
Next week on The Twilight Zone, we put you on a front porch. Summer evening, tree-lined street, typical small town. And then we pull the rug out from under your feet, and we throw a nightmare at you. Claude Akins, Jack Weston, and Barry Atwater are your neighbors just at that moment when the monsters are due on Maple Street. Don't chicken out. See you next week.
And now, Mr. Serling.
Next week, Mr. Richard Matheson lends us his fine writing talents when we bring you a unique and most arresting story of a movie actor who finds himself on that thin line between what is real and what is a dream. Mr. Howard Duff stars in World of Difference, which I think you'll discover is a television play of difference, too. That's next week, A Journey into the Twilight Zone. Thank you and good night.
And now, Mr. Serling.
Next week, the culprit is Charles Beaumont, the gentleman responsible for a story unlike any you've ever seen. You talk of immortality, the business of being able to live for as long as one wants. Well, next week you'll see Kevin McCarthy at the tail end of a life that's gone on for 2,000 years. The play is called Long Live Walter Jameson on The Twilight Zone.
And now, Mr. Serling.
Next week, an excursion to Mars with Roddy McDowell and Paul Comey. 2 men trying to prove a point, a simple proposition that men are alike all over. And on Mars, they discover that this is just whistling in the dark. People are not alike, and next week on The Twilight Zone, you'll see why. I hope you'll be with us. Thank you, and good night.
And now, Mr. Serling.
This may look like some kind of kooky greenhouse. Actually, it happens to be a conveyance, a mode of travel, time travel. And next week, you'll see Albert Salmi take an extended journey from 1880 to 1960. I hope then next week you'll be able to take another walk with us into the Twilight Zone. Hey, where did everybody go?
And now, Mr. Serling.
The man who lives in this tenement is an aging fighter named Boley Jackson. Over the hill at age 36 from leaving too much of himself in too many arenas for too many years before too many screaming people. And next week, he looks for a miracle, and he finds it in a little boy. On The Twilight Zone next week, The Big Tall Wish, something very, very special. I hope we'll see you then.
And now, Mr. Serling.
Greetings from the low-rent district. Next week, we follow the fortunes and misfortunes of Mr. Larry Blyton, who plays the role of one Rocky Valentine, an itinerant second-story man who shot dead in an alley one night, then goes to his just rewards. This little item here being one of them. This one you can watch with a tongue in your cheek. It's called A Nice Place to Visit. Next week on The Twilight Zone.
And now, Mr. Serling.
Next week, you'll spend a few rather unforgettable hours in this living room watching Miss Janice Rule and Mr. Shepard Strudwick partake of a dramatic delicacy that is 1 part nursery rhyme, 1 part terror. This is designed for those of you who are getting too much sleep. Next week on The Twilight Zone, Nightmare as a Child. I hope we'll see you then. Thank you, and good night.
And now, Mr. Serling.
This old-fashioned railroad car is about as extinct as the dinosaur. But next week, it takes us to a little village that is not only a place, but a state of mind. It's the transportation to what we think is one of the most unique stories we've ever presented. Next week, Mr. James Daly stars in A Stop at Willoughby. We hope you stop with him. Thank you, and good night.
And now, Mr. Serling.
In this library, a certain professor sells things. Ointments, salves, powders, sovereign remedies, nectars, concoctions, decoctions, and potions, all guaranteed. Next week, he'll sell one to a lover boy so that he can slip an affectionate Mickey into the champagne of his lady love. It sets up a most bizarre and very unexpected chain of events. On the Twilight Zone next week, The Chaser.
And now, Mr. Serling.
Next week, you'll stand in this alley at the shoulder of Jack Klugman, who plays the role of a trumpet player who has run out of music and run out of dreams. Poignant is the best word for Mr. Klugman's performance. Next week on the Twilight Zone, A Passage for Trumpet. I think they're unusual notes indeed, and we hope you'll be listening to them. Thank you, and good night.
And now, Mr. Serling.
Next week, you'll meet the occupant of this desk, whose name is James B.W. Beavis, a warm and winning 20th century oddball about a mile and a half from the norm. He likes things like zither music, little kids, and stuff like this. Orson Bean stars next week on the Twilight Zone as Mr. Beavis, and Henry Jones plays his guardian angel. He's this kind of oddball.
And now, Mr. Serling.
Next week, you'll see our friends here, along with Anne Francis and Elizabeth Allen, in one of the strangest stories we've yet presented on the Twilight Zone. It's called The After Hours, and concerns the shadowy time when normal people go back to their homes, and concurrently what happens to those who are perhaps not quite so normal, or perhaps not quite so human. Intriguing? I think you'll find it so next week on the Twilight Zone.
And now, Mr. Serling.
This locker and liniment emporium houses a Major League Baseball team known as the Hoboken Zephyrs, all of which by way of introduction to next week's show. A wild and woolly yarn about the great American pastime. It's called The Mighty Casey, and it's all about a left-hander who pitches like nothing human simply because he isn't. Mr. Jack Warden takes us into the stadium next week for 9 fast innings on the Twilight Zone.
And now, Mr. Serling.
Next week, we take you back into the dark and hidden, unexplored recesses of a writer's mind and do some probing as to just how this type of bird operates. It's a fascinating excursion into the oddball. On the Twilight Zone next week, Keenan Wynn and Phyllis Kirk star in Richard Matheson's A World of His Own. And on this particular one, even this kooky writer gets into the act. Good night.